Welcome, traveler. Tonight, you are a Japanese candle maker in the 18th century. You live in a mountain village, quiet and steady, where the days follow the rhythm of the land and the work of your hands. You rise early, as you always do. The house is small, 3 rooms, wooden walls, a thatched roof. You fold your futon, slide open the paper door and let in the chill. It's still dark outside. The air smells of wood smoke and wet soil. Breakfast is plain. Cold rice, pickled plum, hot tea. No meat unless there's a celebration. You heat water on a small clay stove set into the floor. It takes time, but there's no rush. You've lived alone for 5 winters now. Your wife passed from a cough that never left. She made paper before she died. Fine, white washi used for temple scrolls and lanterns. You still keep one of her brushes near the door. You don't touch it. You don't need to. Your job is candle making. You work with wax pressed from the berries of the haze tree, mokuro, not animal fat. Your candles burn clean, with tall, steady flames. They're used in temples, in homes, at altars, and on nights when people want the shadows to move just a little softer. The wax shed is a few steps from the house, a long, narrow structure with a packed earth floor, bamboo poles overhead, and a heavy smell of resin and smoke. Inside are the tools you've used for decades: wooden racks, pots, ladles, wicks rolled from rush pith and paper. The wax blocks sit waiting. You processed them last month. Crushed the berries, boiled them, skimmed the wax, and poured it into wooden molds to cool. Now you melt it again, gently, over coals. Too fast and it spoils, too cool and it thickens wrong. While it heats, you prepare the wicks. Paper cores wrapped in soft plant fiber. You cut and twist them to size. Every movement is routine. When the wax is ready, you dip. Once. Wait. Dip again. Dozens of times. Each candle takes an hour to build. The layers are thin, even, smooth. You don't need to look. You know when it's right by the feel of the wax, the resistance of the wick, the way the surface shines. Outside, the village wakes. You hear sandals in the dirt path, a cartwheel turning, someone calling to a child. A rooster crows. You stop briefly to stretch your back. You drink more tea. The air smells sharper now, warmer. You look at the row of candles drying on the rack. 26 today. It's a good number. You'll walk them down to town on market day. The shrine always buys a few. Some go to wealthier homes, others are bought by merchants. Once, one of your candles was used at a daimyo's funeral. You didn't see it, but someone told you. That was years ago. Lunch is rice again, with a little miso soup and last season's pickled greens. You eat seated on a low wooden stool just outside the shed. You look out over the fields, bare in early spring, but already showing green. You haven't farmed in years. You trade your candles for rice, fish, cloth. It's enough. In the afternoon, you repair a bamboo rack, clean your tools, and take stock of your supplies. You'll need more haze berries before autumn. If your knees allow, you'll climb with the boys again this year. If not, they'll bring them down. You'll give them candles in return. That's how it works. As the light fades, you light one of your own candles in the shed. The flame catches easily, tall, quiet, with no smoke. It flickers once, then steadies. You clean your hands, close the shed, and walk back to your house. You light the stove again. More tea. A bowl of rice for dinner. You sit quietly, listening to the night. Wind through the trees. Someone's dog barking far off. You sleep early. Tomorrow will be the same. And that's just fine. Your name is not recorded in any history book, but your life is no less real. You are a candle maker, and in this quiet part of 18th century Japan, your trade threads through everything. Birth, death, prayer, harvest, and the long stretch of winter. You wake later today. It's not a work day. The candles you made yesterday are curing, and your supplies are low. Instead of the wax shed, you walk down to the village. You wear a faded indigo robe tied with a hemp sash. Your straw sandals are patched but still hold. The road is dirt, packed by generations of feet. Along the way, you pass the rice fields, small and terraced. A boy calls to you and bows. You nod. He helped gather berries last autumn. You remember. You stop at the well and greet the old woman drawing water. She offers you a pear. You thank her, take it, and keep walking. This is how people survive here, by quiet exchange. The market is small. A few stalls, a few carts. You trade 6 candles for a bundle of dried sweet fish, a sack of rice, and a strip of cotton cloth. The fish will last you through the week. The cloth you'll use to wrap the next candle delivery. You visit the temple on the hill. It's not large but well kept. You bow at the gate, pass through the incense smoke, and light one of your own candles at the altar. The monk gives you a nod. He knows your work by the flame alone. On the way back, you stop by the herbalist. Your joints have been aching. She gives you ground ginger and a small bottle of camellia oil. You offer her 2 candles. She accepts without counting. Your life is not marked by coin, but by trust. Back home, you clean your tools. You inspect your remaining wax, enough for one more batch. Then you sit and begin preparing new wicks. Your hands are slower now. The lines in your palms have deepened. You don't mind. This is what age looks like here. Work worn smooth. Your house is plain, but everything has a purpose. The floor is raised to keep out the damp. The walls are bare except for a shelf with family tablets. You light a candle before them each evening, not out of fear, out of memory. Marriage was simple. You and your wife met at a shrine festival. She laughed easily. Her family approved. You built this house together. There was never much money, but there was always work. And when she died, the candles burned for 3 days straight. You never remarried. Children, number. The closest thing you have are the boys who gather berries each fall. You teach them what you can. How to cut the wax, how to feel the right temperature, how to hang the tapers without warping. Some listen, some don't. You don't force it. In the evenings, you read from an old book your wife left behind. Not much, just a few poems. You don't read for meaning. You read for rhythm, for peace. Sometimes, on nights when the wind is still and the fire's low, you think about what you've built. Not just candles, but a life, a routine, a role. And that, more than anything, is what holds the darkness back. There's a shift in the air this morning. You feel it in your knees before you open your eyes. The warmth of spring has passed. The early edges of summer have crept in. You know what that means. It's time to plan for the haze harvest. You move slower today, but there's no need to rush. You make tea, eat rice with a smear of plum paste, and drink the broth left from last night's stew. Outside, the sun is high already. A few neighbors are mending thatch on a roof nearby. They wave. You nod. You gather your tools into a cloth satchel. Gloves, a curved blade, a woven basket. You'll walk to the edge of the forest today to check on the trees. The haze berries won't be ready until late summer, but you like to see how they're forming. Some years are better than others. As you walk, you listen. Birds, wind in the bamboo, a far-off shout. The trail bends upward, through the woods, where the trees thicken and the path softens with pine needles. This is where the haze trees grow best. Thin trunks, clustered leaves, small flowers just now fading. You touch the bark, inspect the branches. There will be fruit this year, enough if the weather holds. You mark a few trees with twine. You'll return in a few weeks, maybe with one of the boys. You'll show him how to strip the berries cleanly, how not to damage the new growth. The old ways matter. If you're not careful, the tree gives less the year after. Everything in balance. On the way back, you stop at a shaded stream and sit for a while. You soak your feet. The water is cold and clear. A dragonfly lands on your knee and stays. You don't move. You don't need to. The work will wait. Back home, the house is warm. You change out of your damp clothes and hang them by the door. You prepare your next batch of wax. The blocks are fewer now, just enough for 10 or 12 candles. You melt them slowly, stirring with care. As they soften, you grind some dried mugwort to add to the pot. It's not for scent, not really. It's tradition. The monks once told you it helps keep spirits calm. You don't know if that's true, but it makes the wax a pale green, and people like that. You dip slowly. The first candle is always rough. By the third, your rhythm returns. The smell of heated wax, the weight of the wick, the slow forming of shape. It's familiar, anchoring. Later, as the candles cool, you write a few notes in a small book. Not many words, just the date, the weather, the yield. You've done this for years. It's not for show, just memory. You think about the village festival coming up, the lantern night. You always make a special batch for that evening. Slightly thinner candles with curled wicks, so the flames dance more. The children carry them in paper lanterns shaped like fish or flowers. You've walked behind them once or twice, unseen, just to watch the light move. You light a candle at dusk and set it by the door. You sit outside with your tea, listening to the frogs begin their chorus. You don't speak. You don't need to. The candle burns steadily beside you, casting just enough light to make the dark feel like something welcome. You know your work won't last forever. The wax runs out, the wicks break, the hands slow. But tonight, there's still light. And tomorrow, you'll make more.